I'm Hannah Holman, and these are the people watching my speech. This is my mom and Ollie. This is Lance, and that's Alyssa. According to the National Institute of Health, 34% of adults and 15 to 20% of children and teens in the United States are obese. The fat acceptance movement is harmful to society because it encourages an unhealthy lifestyle, incites negativity toward thin or fit body types, and promotes a victim mentality. Obesity is the cause of many preventable diseases, and encouraging people to live an unhealthy and potentially fatal lifestyle is unacceptable. The fat acceptance movement encourages an unhealthy way of living. Many factors contribute to obesity. Some of these factors, such as genetics, medical conditions, and medications, are unavoidable, whereas most, such as eating habits, physical inactivity, screen time, and sleep habits, are all manageable. These factors are worth managing because of the immense health risks associated with obesity, including but not limited to type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, sleep apnea, cancer, and mental health problems. With all of this at stake, it begs the question of how encouraging this lifestyle is beneficial in any way. This movement perpetuates the idea that being obese does not equal being unhealthy. Yes, you can be overweight and healthy, just as you can be unhealthy and thin. I should know better than anyone. But obesity is an entirely different category. Not to mention the fact that being overweight still automatically increases your risk for health issues. This idea gives people struggling with obesity the idea that they are healthy and that there's nothing to be done to better their situation. Reach Out Australia, a supporter of this movement, tells their readers to not worry about your weight or your clothing size. They're straightforwardly telling their readers to ignore your weight, which is an important part of managing your health. I am steadfastly against the harassment or bullying of anyone, regardless of their body type, but lying to people and letting them continue to live in a lie and letting them believe that they are not putting themselves at great risk isn't okay. We should be encouraging people to better their quality of life and their health. Instead of being positive about all body types, this movement incites negativity toward thin and fit people. This idea was mainstreamed by many celebrities, including singer Meghan Trainor. In 2014, she released a song called All About That Bass, which she states is about body positivity, but it seems to be more about shaming thin people. The song states, and I quote, "Hey, I'm bringing booty back. Go ahead and tell them skinny bitches that. Just playing, I know you think you're fat." This doesn't sound very body positive to me. This is just one of the many examples of bullying being turned toward thin and fit people. Speech like this only divides everybody and takes the bullying off of one group and places it onto another, which is not a good solution for bullying in any capacity. Not only does the fat acceptance movement promote bullying, but it also promotes a victim mentality, where thin people are blamed for so-called discrimination against obese people. The phrase thin privilege is often used in the fat acceptance community. A BBC article about thin privilege cites tweets that helped mainstream the term, saying things like not being able to find your size in a clothing store or getting dirty looks for taking up part of someone else's airplane seat are discrimination towards obese people. It is not unreasonable for a store to carry the most common sizes, as their goal is to make the most money. There is also many stores and websites to accommodate this gap that only offer plus sizes. It's also not unreasonable to be frustrated if you pay for a seat and someone else is taking up part of it, whether it be due to their weight or any other factors such as leaving their personal items in your seat. There's also a lot of logical fallacies used to take responsibility off of the people who are obese. One example of this is a quote by J.K. Rowling that states, "Is fat really the worst thing a human can be? Is fat worse than vindictive, jealous, shallow, vain, boring, evil, or cruel? Not to me." This statement implies that people against the movement are in support of all of these other things, which is a straw man fallacy. Fat is not the worst thing a human can be, but that's not the point being made by critics of the movement. This rhetoric encourages people who are obese to feel oppressed rather than taking responsibility for their actions. No one deserves to be shamed or ridiculed for their appearance, but using these things as an excuse to continue an unhealthy way of life is not beneficial for anyone. All in all, it's important to reiterate that I do not believe that anyone should be bullied regardless of their size. Advocating an unwell way of living, provoking harassment against thin and fit people, and inspiring a victimized outlook on life are just a few ways in which the fat acceptance movement is harmful to society. People who struggle with their weight should be encouraged to achieve better health in order to live longer, rather than encouraging them to continue an unhealthy lifestyle. Telling them they are oppressed takes the responsibility off of them and allows them to use it as an excuse to not better themselves. There are people fighting for their lives every day who have no control over their circumstances. So I believe people struggling with obesity should take control of their life and fight for a better way of living. Thank you for listening.